So in previous videos, we've gone over the basics of how to use the system quickly. In order to get the most value out of the system, however, there's a good handful of things that we need to configure. So if we go here to the configuration settings, these are the options that we have: configuring the team, stages and milestones, task groups, business types, products and services, sign-offs. These two are less about configuration and more just about monitoring what's going on in the background. So we're going to go through these one at a time. The most important thing is to start with, who is your team?
Internal team.
Yeah,
Or client
internal team.
Internal team. Nice. Okay. And this could be your staff, your subcontractors, anyone that's essentially working under your brand.
Yes.
Nice.
So here we get to your team, and there's two things that we need to take care of. The first part is naming what your teams are. So for example, here we have management and operations, and we're going to go ahead and put myself in management, for example, and then we'll leave you in operations. The purpose of naming teams and specifying which staff are in them will come into play a little bit later when we see automatically creating tasks as new projects are created or as projects move through milestones. When we define the defaults, we define them in terms of the team that is responsible. And when the tasks are created, it will go back and fill in the individual staff. So that's what the teams are for here. We'll see that a little bit more later. The most important part getting started here is that you actually list who your staff are down the side and what their Notion user is in this second column. The distinction between the staff record and the Notion user, this is more tied to a human being's login to the Notion system. Whereas the staff, this is a database record that we are able to manipulate and use for a considerable degree of automation. So for example, if automation kicks in and says, hey, we need to assign this to Ashley, it's also going to look up and say, who is the actual Notion user who this needs to be assigned to? And so it gives us the advantage of the user object, the login for Notion, and the ability to keep track of things in a database, which we'll see additional benefits of a little bit later down the line.
It's really, you're just defining name versus user.
Yes.
So let's say a client buys this and they have a staff of 8. I believe there's a Notion level deployment of everyone can line in SSO.
SSO, yes, single sign-on.
Yeah.
Yes, the enterprise level of Notion does support single sign-on.